with your hands out. I've got nothing. I'm empty. You see, I'm bringing nothing. And you can put in my hands what you choose to. I've got nothing. And that's where you need to get to. So I can't urge you enough that the urgency, when I am saying that something is urgent, it is because you have a task to do. You have an appointment to keep. That's been set. But that doesn't mean that appointment is set in stone and that God's not going to accomplish it unless you do. Because God will give you something, but believe me, he's got backup plans. So just because you might feel that the flesh would be an arrogant way of saying, well, I've got to do this and this is my job. Look, I make no bones about it, no question that if I'm not obedient to the Father and speaking the things that I'm going to speak, he'll find somebody else to speak them. And I don't want to disappoint him. And that's why I do exactly what I'm asked to do. And that's why I pay attention so intently. And I'll read emails and I'll find these things. And the amazing part is that it gets confirmed to me about what he wants me to speak about.
So this is 2 years ago.
Because I'll be having a conversation and meditating and praying, and the Lord will be speaking to me about something.
A video
and then,
from
out of the blue, 5
March.
minutes later, I'll get 10 emails asking me a
2018.
question about precisely what the Father was just telling me I needed to talk about. So I wanted to bring this up, and like I said, it's going to be a little bit all over the place because he's given me so many different things that don't seem to be tied together, but maybe in your heart they will get strung together. And so I'm just being
Where I was 2 years ago was judging a lot of people, calling people agents, and not having facts about who is who. Then I realized, well, yous are agents, and you are the ones that are lying to me, saying that you're not, but yet you are. So there's liars out there. People have been lying about what their role is. Now, I don't have anybody telling me who you are, what your purpose is, why you're here, what you have to do next, who that person is, who they are, who I am, who he is, who she is. Not one person is telling me who anybody is. So I got to wake up on my own. And then here's the pride of others that are, well, you're told exactly who you are. And it makes it so much easier for you to pinpoint somebody else like, oh man, poor Robin. Poor Robin has no idea what's going on here because he's still asleep. Of course, I'm waking up. That's the whole point. I'm waking up to the reality of, oh, so this was in play way before I've even waken up to the fact that this is playing out in the world. And everybody on the inside, which is everybody on the inside, has come towards my channel, towards me, gravitated towards me for whatever reason that you guys are still watching. I'm talking to the agents. I know you're people too, agents. But do you lie about who you are? If someone asks you, like, who do you work for? Do you just say a free society? Because the Masonic society is free, but you say it's free. But yet you really work for and or Jonathan Kleck and or Stephen James DeShawn. Those three. They're the top 3 people that I see grounded into the underground that consistently is giving me more information that's true. I can accuse them all I want. I can accuse Derek of not needing money because it's not about the money that was created. It's about, right now it's about God's word manifesting and the Bible being fulfilled. That's what it's all about. the thing that has been a slight irritation is when you know, I'm speaking about myself personally, when I know that people that are socializing with me are from the inside, but they pretend they're not from the inside. They will deny it vehemently, up and down, that they're not. But it's obvious that you are. All right, so you still need to repent, right? For lying, because you're lying. In the end, everything, the truth is just spread wide and broad, and you're going to see it as destruction goes straight down that street. It may never happen. A second 9/11 may not even be in play in Philadelphia. And all this time I'm talking about Philly and second 9/11, setting dates left and right, nothing ever happening. Then it gets everybody to the point of, I can't watch it anymore. I can't listen to you, Rob. That's fine, because I know who is listening. And I know that it's not about gathering up all the troops, all the agents, getting on their good side, trying to lead them in a way of your way is better than God's way. So now that turns to Judas. So who's playing Judas in this script? Well, I told Justin a long time ago, back in probably a year ago, when after we started to talk back on the phone again, I said it to you, Justin. I said, for all I know, you're freaking Judas, and you're gonna
obedient to that.
You're gonna follow through with the role of Judas, and you understood. So whatever. Justin's my best friend. I just want everybody to know that. But I also know that there's things that I don't question. There's things that I don't say, because I allow this thing called free will to be fully exercised. So once free will is fully exercised, this is where everybody turns against everybody. The final push where people start turning against each other. So this, I left it alone. I didn't say anything about it since the final, the final messages from you, Justin, my best friend, the reptilioid, Illuminati, pretending you don't work for him, but then you do work for him. You'll say you work for him. You'll say you're an Illuminati, but you'll say that you do it for free. Whatever. I do it for free too. I just don't work for anybody. From the inside, I don't have any inside knowledge from any CIA member, FBI, NSA, nobody in my family. My brother-in-law, I don't socialize with him over in Guam, who's in the CIA. However, he does know the videos that I make, because I sent him my videos that I make to let him know when that second 9/11 happens. Just know that I predicted it, I'm innocent, and it's a terrorist attack. And on top of that, it's set up. It's not real. I mean, it's real. You're really going to see it. But it's not the way that it looks on TV. So it's easier to be puffed up with a little bit more pride than usual, because you have people from the inside who have told you who specifically you are. And I have to figure out, what is my purpose here? What the hell am I doing on YouTube? Why is it that there's always somebody that is in contact with me? Like, why is it? And me and Justin talked about that before, because you even said it. You ever notice how there's always somebody that's contacting you? Like when Steve told me that there's going to be a train wreck, if I don't communicate with him, failure to communicate, I'm going to see a train wreck. Well, I never seen a train wreck since that threat. So here we go again. This is the final hoopla, the final push. So what is it? What is it that Justin is saying? It's hard to believe that you don't know the script and who you are and what the purpose is as to why at the end here, right before the shutdown, right before AI takes over, May 20th, 21st, 2020, May 20, 2020, AI is taking over. The Antichrist, who is opposed to Christ, is taking over. Number 500, because 500 million doses, vaccine, needle shots, whatever's coming out, Kleck's talking about. So the Antichrist is rising up. The Antichrist spirit is opposing Christ. So who's the Antichrist spirit besides Judas? Besides Lucifer? Lucifer can do it better than God. Isn't that the perception? That Lucifer has fallen and he said, well, I can do it better than you, God. Me, can do it better than you, Lord. So the Antichrist spirit is coming down, saying I can do it better than God. God is going to allow free will, exercise your pride to the fullest. Now, here's how this system works. The Antichrist, who's opposed to Christ, is someone that's going to try to take over the military, take over the agents, take over social media with his way. Now, to me, that represents what Justin is trying to do. I'll just say it flat out how I feel about things and not beat around the bush and not kind of make hints here and there and really knowing the truth, but turning from it. What the hell?
Yep. I wanted to read.
So when you have a desire to take over their military, it's Derek Bros and Jonathan Kleck's military. The two most powerful people in the world. The two most powerful people in the world are brothers. Then there's Stephen James DeShawn, the one that takes credit for the Book of Gematria, the one that has came down from his island, from the island up top, because we're down here in a pit. He came down from his island. He's over there, and he's making friendship with the world. You know, all of Hollywood. You guys know him. This is about telling the truth. To my regular subs, look, I understand. It's impossible to believe that I could possibly have found the two most important people on planet Earth that hopped up on YouTube because they created it. They hopped up on there. They had a platform. Their purpose is to play out the two brothers, the two snakes, to play out Lucifer and Satan. That's what their role is. My opinion, that's what their role is. So it's hard to think that you can actually find these people. And now Justin is playing the Judas role very well. But in all fairness, he said that you would have to find Christ first in order for him to be the Judas role. But again, I'm not naive enough to think that there's not a possibility that you're acting fully because you know Scripture better than I do. You know the outcome. You betray the only person that you found on YouTube that's telling the truth. The only person that you found out of all these people that are representing what God said. If you can find one person in this shithole of a world that has an eager desire, I'm just paraphrasing, to tell the truth. One person, if you could find one person, everything is annulled. Find that one person. Am I not telling the truth? To the agents that know. The ones that know, not the ones that are blind, that are still brainwashed into believing and judging people that are telling the truth. if I'm judging somebody wrongly, I'll repent for it. I'll apologize if I find that in my heart it's wrong. When I feel like it's right, well, I'm going to say it. And this is the part that is sickening beyond belief, is people pretend so much and they cannot possibly tell you the entire truth. Because why? Telling the truth takes balls. To get up and continually tell the truth, even though it's like, yeah, you know what gang stalking is. You know that there's people in charge. There's good and evil. There's certain people that have control over what gets done to certain people, how far they can go to the tormenting of gang stalking on the boots on the ground and cyber stalking. I'm very aware of that. I've believed that Stephen James was the top Luciferian head gang stalker in the United States, and I still came at him because of his lies. I know he's lying because he's lying about what I'm saying, and I'm telling the truth. Therefore, he's a liar. But he's purposed to be a liar. I'm actually, well, Steve's one of my biggest fans. Right, Steve? It's clear. It's evident that that's true. And the same with Derek now. Not that I was, but he's giving me information that well, it's about time I woke up to be able to see it. So the difficulty here is trying to read between the lines with what they're saying without having one person on planet Earth give me information, like straight telling me the truth about what they truly believe and know. That hasn't happened. I get things thrown at me that are curveballs, that's going in this direction, get me away from the actual truth, because I have to figure this out on my own. So I'm going to start pinpointing people that I believe are who they are and who's being played out in the Bible, because the Bible is being fulfilled in front of all of our faces. Planet Earth is shut down. It's masked. Everybody's wearing a mask. Paul is on his road on the way to demask us so we can take the mask off. But people don't trust Derek.
Read to you something that was very evident, because in Genesis,
people don't trust Click. I'm one of them that not only 2 months ago I did a video essay showing that I was calling Click a liar. Now maybe, because you're in charge of the scripts of the world, you're writing that stuff, but I got to go by what I'm seeing you say in front of the camera. I don't see lies anymore. I just see me not even bad on myself. The enemy is in front of you. If you can see it, and, well, let's put it this way. When you're judging other people, you're not fighting the enemy. You're actually fighting yourself. You're literally fighting yourself. It's just you. When you stop judging other people for their interpretation, and here's why, I'm going to tell you why Justin has flipped the script. And I blocked him from my phone because I'm not going to allow you to just send stuff and try to use the mind control, because I know that you believe that you can control anybody's mind. I get it. You've been talking to me for the past couple years. There's plenty of things that I don't say either, because I need for it to play out fully. I need for you to exercise your pride, and it's free will. So I wait until this moment to where you turn again. So this is the second time around. It's such an act, because the main thing is this. I'm not going to show the text message, but I will say it. It started last week sometime where I guess I didn't call you back, or I didn't get back to you on the phone or something, a text message. And then there's like this insecure saying that you don't have time to get a hold of me and whatever, and you're fucking up, and you should apologize to the agents for calling them liars and whatever. Now the agents need to apologize to me for still lying and claiming that they are not agents, which are the people that you are socialized with through YouTube. And not through YouTube, just people, surveillance. the thing that I don't have eyes anywhere except for in my own skull. Got my eyes. So here's how it started. A fake insecure, acting like I don't get back to you or whatever. There's been gazillions of times where you'll text me and I just, whatever, I don't have to respond back to anybody. And I purposely don't do that because if you can't accept the fact that you have my number, you can text me whenever, however, whatever. I don't need to get back to anybody. I read the messages. I see what it is. Some people send me videos. I watch the videos. I don't always respond back because I'm a little busy. Just a little busy. Out of 7 billion people, I have a task to do. And I realize what the task is now. And it's not to take anybody's shit at all. And to call you out for how I feel as though what your role is on planet Earth now. So it started when I clicked on to Derek and I started to point out some things at first to Justin, saying I believe he's lying. But then that was, again, it's knowledge increases. And then immediately I realized, no, wait, oh no, hold on, I got to stop. As soon as I stopped, and soon as the illusion was dissipated from me and I realized who he is and who Kleck is, what the purpose is here, that's when all of a sudden Justin started coming against me. Now, I know that's your boy, but I also have this feeling that with him, you're under him as a division, a certain division. And then there's certain people that are under Jonathan Kleck. Kind of like the people that have, like, I don't know, maybe they're more sensitive towards people's feelings, so they have a tendency to care a little bit more. That's how I feel like the difference between Derek's group that works directly under him and Kleck's group that works directly under him. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll find out. I'll eventually be told the truth. But it all kind of started when, I've been on Kleck for the past year, and Justin has told me plenty of times I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. He's not even paying attention to you. Then I realized, well, I'm judging him, and oh, crap, wait a minute. He's actually talking directly to me. So let me start paying attention now. Then I pay attention to both of them. Now that I've found both of them, the king in the north and the king in the south, found them. Here they are. These are them. That's them right there. But it's also a spiritual thing inside the Bible where Kleck is catching the spirit. He's literally catching the spirit. I'm catching a spirit too. The spirit of Satan is who I'm catching. And I know that there's a flipping upside down. Christ is really Satan. Satan's really, and Lucifer is really Christ, but Christ is really Lucifer. I don't care what the hell the damn name title is going to be in the end when it's over and done with. All I know is my heart doesn't lie. There's no lying inside of me. There's no pretending. I don't act a certain way because I'm pretending to put on a facade. This is me, and the ones that watch behind the scenes, when the camera's turned off, you know that this is true. Wherever I go, wherever it is. Now, I still have some anxiety inside from people because it's vapors of lingering thoughts from before how I grew up with social anxiety. It's still there to an extent, but it's for the most part gone. Now, it's only there. I'm going to tell you the truth. The anxiety is only there after some marijuana smoking, some oil smoking. I used to never smoke that stuff, but what I realize is when I do, my brain has a connection. It's an easier way to understand words that are coming out of their mouths, the ones that rule the earth. I need to hear it. But also what comes along with marijuana is paranoia. And then there's an instant feeling of that. So what I've done is I've learned to go out into the world feeling full of anxiety, knowing that when I take a tote, I'm going to feel it. Here comes the anxiety. So I feel it. I let it go through my body. I see things, I talk to people, I do whatever. Let the uncomfortable feelings happen and it flows through and then it goes out. Then you can actually just enjoy the, the high. The high of, it's more of a high of connecting with the spirit and being able to understand tongues. When this is all over and done with, I'm sure I still will, but not to the magnitude of now, because there's times I don't even feel like, I really don't. But I know that in the instant I do, and I push play, I can understand what the hell they're talking about. It's crazy. But to my regular subs that don't know or don't believe, I understand. And I ain't mad at you, and I ain't forcing you to believe me. I never did, never will. I want you to believe me, but the way this works is I go all the way to the end. I get shut down because they're shutting down. AI is taking over on the 20th of May, 2020. There is going to be 3 days of darkness of shutting down. Then there's going to be a big-ass surprise afterwards. But this isn't over yet. But when that event takes place, that darkness, and when that other event takes place, 3 weeks later, that second 9/11, I want it to be on the 20th or the 21st. I want it to happen because I need it to. It's the second coming. First 9/11, second 9/11. Second woe happens. Man, watch out. Just watch out. So I had to figure these things out on my own. And the pride of people that, like you, Justin, there's an extreme amount of pride that's still inside of you. And it's not a misjudgment call, it's truth. Because you feel like you can do it better than God. I haven't watched that many episodes of Supernatural to really understand what's going on. And I haven't read the entire Bible, and I can't remember all the verses, and I don't know. But you do. So you have all this knowledge, and I have to figure out all this knowledge on my own because I'm not told who I am.
Question that is taking place because you cannot doubt these types of things. You must, put a check mark in the box and make a note of it, and that way you can refer back to this at a later time, and you'll have a greater understanding of
Which
what
is
it
now.
Because it will blossom into positive. There's no such thing as one without the other. So you can expect that. So it might feel negative now, but don't let your heart be troubled about that. Just know and look for the positive outcome of it. Just let these things pass by you. Try to ignore the anger that you have about things and question all of this. And this is where anger truly does become the enemy. And
See, back on March 2018, in July, I made that video, Make a Stand for SJD. But see, before that, this was the stir-up of everybody getting ready, and I was even told by Stephen himself on the phone that they're gonna come after you. Like, how did you know, Steve, huh? How did you know?
The enemy is very well aware of with what's going on. And so he'll use that to his advantage. So if he can make you upset and make you destroy during this course of the negative energy, then when the positive energy comes around, well, you would have already set out of balance that positive energy that you would have had, and the things that would be good because he established in you this negative energy and you reacted from it. So I just encourage you to stay in love, stay in love, stay in love. Stay in love with the Father inside of you, and as long as you are constantly in love with him, you're not paying attention to any of the negative aspects that are going on around you. And now with that, I wanted to make very clear on something, is that all of the prophets, everything that is spoken of at these times, we are leading up to a crescendo that is no question going to take place. And when it does, it is going to be so startling that the masses will be, the people that believe that they know what the truth is, are going to be completely shattered within their minds. Absolutely shattered. And so as these things come to fruition, because as this veil continues to break, the invisible will become far more visible. So So the things, the principalities that you battle will become more visible. And so they'll first become visible to people that are more in the spirit, those that have the name of God written on their head. So those of you that are, most of you anyways, that are listening to these videos right now. Now, let me help you understand something when it speaks of ancient nation. I've told you many times that you don't truly know who you are yet, but you will when it's intended to be revealed to you. There is no question about that, so expect it. And you're not going to be given more than you can handle out of this. Some people are very poignantly told who they are. Some people are very poignantly told who they are. And it can be unbelievably overwhelming, because with that comes all of the knowledge and all of the existence and all of the history of that person. So literally, the first response is you're losing your mind, because you feel like that you're literally living a completely different life. There's somebody else within you. What you think it is. So the sons of God so loved the daughters of man that they came in unto them. So yeah, we have some evil that was established as a result of this in the world, but not all of it is evil. So I wanted to clarify that the ones that are ancient, where it's when Christ said, "For the first shall be last, and the last shall be first," he's speaking of the first people will be here in these last days, as you've heard me already articulate before. That everyone is here right now. That dead bones shall rise. They're here. So all of the things become far more crystal clear. All of the prophecies, all of the words of the Bible, when you truly understand what they are, they come alive. This doesn't seem like some science fiction book anymore.
So here's my point. I'm not trying to gather up all of his troops. I'm not trying to gather up all of Kleck's troops. I'm not trying to use mind control on people to try to get them to just believe in my ways. I'll allow free will to exercise itself. And instead of going through the house of Israel, instead of going through the people that are supposed to find the truth and relay it back to their bosses, I'll just go straight to your bosses. And I'll just get straight to them, and I'll go straight through their heart. And because they're at the top and everybody else is underneath them. So when you're trying to gather all the people that are underneath them and try to be the better commando and do things better than God, well, good luck with all that. It will happen. You will get your way, but it's a few days where you get your, like, thank God that it worked out my way. And it's time to party. You'll get your way.